Okay, something pretty cool. My team, our emails are all put together by Mr. Mac. We don't outsource any of that stuff, and that's been super cool to kind of develop that. And we want it to be valuable. Here's what we're doing. This week, I got like a challenge. I'm saying that we can help our customers do A, B, and C. Let's put together an email about what A, B, and C can look like, and then I'll do it. I'll do it live, and it's pretty. It's a lot. This video is going to be a few minutes long, but I think we can do it pretty much on the fly here. So what's the promise? We make a promise, and I'm here to deliver, to declutter before the holidays with Apple tools. Cleaning, I guess we can call it winter cleaning, but more so because it can be wildly beneficial if you get your devices sized down and decluttered before you get yourself into a brand new phone, to get that junk out and just the stuff you want to keep in, and mostly in your iCloud account. Let's first take a look at photos. And this, I actually am kind of pumped to talk about this. Photos is getting a little blown up on the internet in terms of people don't love the format so much. And I got to say, I'm becoming a fan. It is a different UI, a different user interface. And the logic is different. They didn't just change the borders or the bubbles or the bevels on the images and the way that they're sorted. It's a totally different way to actually interact with the app itself. So I got a phone that's actually running iOS 17 to remind myself. We haven't updated this one yet specifically so that we can demonstrate some stuff. And so here's the same album. And here, remember at the bottom? Remember where we had to click through all the different albums down there, and then search bar was way over here on the left, and this feels archaic to me already. I've only been using this totally different format for a few days. Now, I kind of get that, all right? But you may actually experience some problems. We got some cats. Lots of pictures of the cats are happening. You got to take your thumb all the way past these adorable kittens and hit that back arrow up there in the top left. And the whole top left corner of my iPhone, it's a barren place, man. I try to keep as little out of that situation as I can, and it's the back button for a lot of different features. And so I'm actually really liking that part of the interface change, because now if we direct our attention back to iOS 18's view of the same album, instead of having those 4 buttons across the bottom in order to travel to these different places, when you launch into the app, this is a very modern take on graphical user interface. You're not starting at the bottom of a page and maybe going up through 20,000 photos in this case. Got to clear those photos out. We'll talk about some ways to do that in a minute. But you can just easily flick the thing we do the easiest on iPhone to travel downward. And I kind of like that. I kind of like showing up in the middle. And it is like showing up in the middle of a movie a little bit, right? Are we going forward in the story or back? It is a different approach, but again, using it for a few days now, I have a better appreciation than we were all reacting for a little while, because it takes some getting used to. So let's actually scroll the other way, past our albums all the way to the bottom. And it's very easy to get there. A single flick, almost as easy as a key press along the bottom. And what we're actually looking for the cleanup on this video, which I'm hitting on our promise list, is duplicates. And the duplicates section has been around for a year. It's been here since iOS 17, but almost easier to find now, just flying down to the bottom of the Photos app. And you can see here we have the opportunity to merge, trying to hop into the camera before the 3 seconds goes off and not quite making it for some Thanksgiving photos. What we're gonna do here is merge. You gotta have your Apple Watch for that. I didn't have the watch on my wrist, and because y'all may know you got a shutter button there that you can take from where you're sitting. More features for more videos. Right now, let's go to merge to exact copies. So this is a copy I probably, and this is where these duplicates show up for a lot of us, maybe texted the photo to someone and then saved it again, or got texted the photo and saved it a couple times. And so in these situations, you'll have exact copies. And so those are an easy hand wave to do those. We can do individual photos just like that. Here's some 4th of July activities. We got some family photos along the 4th of July parade. and one of them is 5.6 megabytes and one of them is 5.7. And so, especially if the photo is larger, it may compress it a little bit if you text it to someone or get texted in. If you resave it, you got duplicates, but they appear to be the same but have unique resolutions, file formats, or other slight differences. Merging one will keep a version of the duplicate that combines the highest quality relevant data and then move the rest to recently deleted, where all these show up. So if you merge two things and it seems like a mistake, you can just go to recently deleted, which is also in the utilities, and easily grab that photo back. Now, there's one other thing we talked about showing on the iPhone, and that is to clean up not only photos, but apps. Now, if you've worked with us at all, especially for my McMaster members, you know I fuss a lot about having an iPhone with only 2 pages on it. The 2-page system is my recommended system because in 2 pages you have, I haven't counted it in a while. Let's see, we got a 16 here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 4 by 4 on this one and then 2 rows above. So 4 by 4, it moves so quickly here on this new fancy app. So 4 by 6, that's 24 apps. You got 2 pages of those. That's already, if you don't have a widget or two, 48 apps. So you got 48 different services that are available to you. It's not so much about don't have 48 or 50 or 60 services. It's just about your mind tuning in, where your muscle memory really, to where the app you want is. Because any more than 50 of them for me, I'm not going to be able to find the actual app without actually looking for it. You got my 4 at the bottom. I know exactly where that is. If you have more than 2 pages, that's very difficult. I open the phone. Which one is the app that I want? Sometimes there's maybe an app that doesn't fit on those pages, and it shows up here when I download them on page 3. Now, I don't want them on page 3. I want to get myself back to 2 pages. How did all these apps get there? I don't know. I have a 2-page rule. How did they get there? I downloaded them. That's the only reason they get there. So it's my fault. So what we're going to do is, I don't really use this CapCut thing. I was just kind of playing with this. Hold your finger on it until you can click remove app. And we're going to remove from the home screen because although it's not an app of high priority to get on page 1 or 2, I still want this app to potentially use from time to time. So I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to remove it from the home screen. And I'm going to do the same thing here for Coinbase. I haven't traded coins in quite some time, but they got me looking again. I mean, $100,000 of Bitcoin is crazy, right? So let me go ahead and remove that from the home screen as well. And then where did it go though? Oh, hold on. Let's talk about Playground. Man, you guys know about Playground yet? That's a video for another day. That is an Apple app, and it is Apple Intelligence in the emerging front of image creation, just from ideas that you might have. So let's talk about the app library. We can now come in here on what will become your page C, your 3rd page, after you get rid of all these other apps right here. How do I find it? I can click on the search bar at the very top and just type it in right there. Now, I don't have to use it, but all the apps that I take off the home screen are available in the app library. This has allowed for us to have a much cleaner, faster, more efficient experience when it's removed from the home screen, but still on the phone. Let's go ahead and do it for the rest of these. Revo, very cool camera app. Let's remove that from the home screen. Chess, my brother and I have been playing a little bit. He's a little bit better than me, so I'm not playing that so much. We'll get that off the home screen. My Fitness Pal, man, I was going to start using that. I really was. That is actually me on the app, a little icon there. So that's why I need to get fit again. So I can do some more grand jetés. We got Jira here. That's a great project planning app, but it's not going to make the top 2 pages yet. It might as we get deeper into some projects coming up this and next year. Get excited. Dropbox, that's a quick download. I don't use that one so much. And then this one, so this is actually a shortcut. Don't need it anymore. It was to a direct web page. We can just delete that one. Bingo. We are back to 2 pages, y'all. That is how you do that. Now, we got to do Mac now. We got to do the declutter the Mac. I'm going to start here in the home folder. Okay, the home folder is probably your first and last name. Got a little house on it. And in here, we have the most 5, how many are there now? Because they moved out some for iCloud Drive. So there's 6 left. Downloads, movies, music, pictures, public, and applications, desktop, and documents. If your computer is set up the way that we recommend, should be over an iCloud Drive. No change to your experience on how you use your computer, just where you find the folders. More about that in another video. Now, we have 6 folders. Which one of these do we want to declutter? There's lots of good options, especially downloads. That thing fills up over the course of several years, but it takes a lot of time. We don't want to go through all these, right, and figure out what we want to keep and get rid of. No, we want results and we want them now. So what we're going to do instead is go to our keyboard and hold 3 keys, Command, Shift, and period. And that will bring us to the library, because here we got all these files. You don't want to touch these. Just in general, these are files that if you delete the wrong ones, it can cause problems with the computer. Now, the one that we want to be brave with, though, and say, I know what we're doing, because we saw the video on Mr. Mac, we double click on cache. So we go to cache, and everything in here we can delete. This is all temporary files that the computer creates over time, and a lot of them are needed by, let's say, Freeform or News. These are just icons that are temporarily made in most cases when you launch the app, for example. All of these others are also, when you run apps, they create temporary files and they just kind of sit here indefinitely. And these folders will build up over time. So I'm going to hit Command A to highlight everything. I can grab them by a chunk here by dragging and dropping, but we're going to do Command A and move all of these to the trash. Boom. Now, there's only one rule. Don't empty your trash yet. What you want to do is click on restart the whole computer, just to make sure that none of the files deleted were important. And then when you restart your computer, you can see it's happening already as this popped up as I'm talking. It's going to rebuild the important files for you as you launch your applications. Good idea to clean this out maybe once a year. And last item, guys, we're back on the iPhone. We're in settings. We're moving our circle and we're going into our name at the very top, all right? In this section, you're going to have an opportunity to click on iCloud and then go to iCloud Backup. This is on iOS 18. Your format will look different on older operating systems, but the process will be the same. Settings, click on your name at the top, click on iCloud, and then iCloud Backup. We can see here on this phone it's on, and last backup was at 1:43 a.m., and that's typically when it happens. iPhone backups automatically happen when your phone is locked, meaning you're not using it, but it's still connected to power, and then also connected to Wi-Fi. The other switch I like to have on is backup over cellular. If you don't have an unlimited data plan and your Wi-Fi is either spotty or you don't have it at your location, maybe don't turn that on, because that will burn up the data in terms of using a 2 or 3 gigabyte plan pretty quickly. But otherwise, having both these switches green is the setting that you want. And you want that to be true on almost all of your iOS or iPad OS devices. So if you have a device that has this feature, turn it on and make sure you have enough storage. It's cost effective. It's one of the cheapest services that Apple offers at $12 a year, 99 cents a month for 50 gigs. It works, meaning that it's easy to use. I don't even have to think about it for all these features that are turned on, especially including iCloud Backup. And it syncs and protects your data across all your devices. So if this phone that I have gets lost in the lake, all I got to do, not that buying a new phone is not a big deal, but when I do go get a new phone, I log in with my username and password, boom, everything shows up. And then the whole experience of dropping or losing or swimming with the phone becomes a lot less emotional. It's really just about the money at that point. Hopefully you got a little insurance and not the data, which is the most important and priceless part, right, of your iPhone. Okay, gang, that's it. We got the backups, we got the cleanups, we got the photos, we got the whole user experience. This whole year is going to be great. iOS 18 is just coming out with some new stuff. We're about to finally see Apple Intelligence hitting those iPhone 15 Pros, 16s, and 16 Pros, as well as all M series iPads and Macs. Let us know in the comments or shoot us an email. Visit the website, mrmac.us. Thanks.